That's exactly right. You hear that? Doesn't matter what form the protest takes. They will find anything they can to demonize it. And it's not her exact words, but she's exactly right. It doesn't matter. I mean, look, we come out and it is the intent to be peaceful. It's like the vast majority of these people, the whole purpose of this movement is empathy and caring for humanity. It's a love of other people. So that doesn't like, how do I word this? Having love and compassion and empathy for others doesn't instantly inspire some vicious, violent desire in you. People are coming out and they're expressing their love and compassion for others. That's what this is, this flood into the streets, this movement. And it's 99.99% of these actions, no property is damaged until the pigs unleash violence on people, on these loving, compassionate people. And if they got one person who turns out is a leftist who breaks a window, that becomes the embodiment of the bad protester. The bad protester.
Unfortunately, with the rioting that is occurring in many of our cities around the country, the voices of peaceful protest are being hijacked by violent radical elements. Groups of outside radicals and agitators are exploiting the situation to pursue their own separate and violent agenda. In many places, it appears the violence is planned, organized, and driven by anarchic and left extremist groups, far left extremist groups, using Antifa-like tactics, many of whom travel from outside the state to promote the violence.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? The bad protester. You know, the element that you have to weed out from all the good protesters. And what the good protester, let me get real straight with this. Let me tell you what good protester means. You know what a good protester is, fam? Let me tell you what a good protester is. Someone who gets out, makes a really great sign, walks down the street for a while with it, says hell yeah to a few speeches, and goes home. And doesn't even care to find out if anything changed as a result of it. And then goes, fuck, we did it. We did it, we went out. Now look. It sounds like I'm like demonizing that. And I'm not. Because there's plenty of people that need to do just exactly that. And I want to express my honest appreciation for people who just come out and march with the sign. Because those numbers fucking matter. Makes a fucking difference. Not everyone needs to be centrally organized with every single aspect of a demonstration. If all you can do and the best you can do, and this is true of a lot of people, legitimately so, the best they can do is come out and walk that, mile or two and put their body on the street and say, I'm here with you. And that matters and that's important, and much appreciation to everyone who does that. But there's people who maybe for whatever reason and are maybe more invested but are able to be more invested, that are going to stick around to find out if the march did anything, to see if there's any type of reason to believe that some type of change will be accomplished. Now that person doesn't do that by smashing a bunch of shit, okay? But make no mistake, that person that sticks around to find out if the state or whoever, the governor or the police department or the mayor's office, the city council, or whatever it is in your local area that you're demonstrating specifically against, to find out if they made any concessions, to find out if they provided anything, were willing to concede to any of the demands of the demonstrators. The person who sticks around to follow through with that does not fit the state's model of the good protester. they will be demonized and lumped in with the person who smashed a window, who either did or didn't smash a window, or who did or didn't spray paint something, right? And I just want to state for the record, I love art, and I'm flabbergasted and blown away by people who have skill with a can. Like, I don't even get how you do that. I've never got it. I've tried. I can't. I can barely scribble out some stuff with a paintbrush, man. But so much love and respect to people who know how to use a can. But like, that's just art. But yeah, there's no such thing as the good protester and the bad protester. And what it ultimately does, if you if you internalize this notion of the good protester, and we'll get back to this a little bit more in this video, but if you internalize this notion of the good protester and the bad protester, what it does is it makes it really easy to go, anyone that expresses any type of passion, like it's when you, a lot of times when these people who really want to be the good protester see a person get up, within a couple feet of a cop and go, fuck you, pig. Scream at him, fuck you, you fucking pig. Sometimes liberal goes, whoa, 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 that's not, we're here to be peaceful. We're not here to do that, see? You see how problematic in that moment? Now you're telling a person who that's the one that's saying fuck the police, how do you know that that person's brother wasn't murdered 3 days ago by a fucking cop? Don't. And now because you bought into this notion of the good protester and the bad protester, you're over here telling a person how to properly express their trauma. That's a fucking problem, man. What I suggest to avoid this whole thing is, I talked in the very opening of today's report about Bobby Seale and Huey, and how they made sure that they were, they went out and they'd attended and they participated and they gave their time and they volunteered to these other groups and they listened and they learned, right? They put in the due diligence so that by the time they got to where they were ready to do the Black Panther Party, they were ready to do the Black Panther Party. And my point being that it matters that the people organizing your actions and demos are experienced, knowledgeable people, and it's important, especially right now, that they're black people. I'm just going to be frank with it. Black and preferably brown people. Now, you may live in an all-white community, and that's not as easy to do, and you definitely don't want to start fucking tokenizing people, okay? Drag someone out that happens to be black and go, okay, be the face of our thing. Like, let's be careful, right? White people, all right? It's about respect first and foremost. That doesn't feel respectful. It feels like using someone. So, but in most communities, there are very intelligent, experienced, adept black and brown people that can take the charge and know what to say on the mic. And know, like that flyer I showed earlier about the no peace police. See, that's people who have experience at or organizing that action to know how to say that. No peace police. And they, people freak out when we say this because it sounds like we're trying to make some type of justification to go out and do nefarious, awful things. And we're not. It's not about that. It's about being careful because, look, now if you say you're a bad protester because you broke a window, well, now it's just as easy for the state to go that was violence too. And then now you're a felony. A person that broke the window in Reno City Hall during the first major, you may have seen some of the stuff that went on in Reno when all this stuff first started happening. A City Hall window let me back up. There was a BLM march in Reno. People marched for an hour or two and did some speeches. And then a couple of people broke some of the windows at the City Hall, big storefront windows. About an hour or two later, cops unleashed tear gas on other people in response. But literally at least an hour later. Now, I saw recently, and I haven't, my bad, I guess, but I haven't been following through since. But I did see something probably about a week ago that there has been a white dude that was charged with, I believe they're white, with breaking the window. And they're throwing felonies at him, $100,000 fines. They're looking at real time for a couple broken windows, man. But see, people will go, oh, good, they threw the book at him. Because in the people of Reno's mind, you got to keep in mind, not only did they unleashed the tear gas like an hour later, 3 days later, Mayor Hillary Sheevy put Reno on a curfew. It's not like it was 3 days solid of windows being broken and shit. Like, shit hadn't happened since the first day. 3 days later, she puts the entire town on lockdown. Now, look, they got to have a scapegoat for that. The bad protester becomes their scapegoat. This person that they're charging with having broke the window, that allegedly broke the window, they want this person to be the embodiment of the bad protester. I'm hearing all kinds of people in Reno talking about, yeah, if it wasn't for that handful of people that ruined the protest. Don't say that shit. Don't come and fucking march with Black Lives and then start talking this shit about good protester, bad protester. It's garbage. Don't do it. Because that's what they're making this person into. And they are purposely setting about the task of destroying this person's life so that they can justify a fucking curfew, a completely unconstitutional fucking curfew, let alone immoral, let alone violent as fuck. Telling an entire fucking community to lock down or we'll physically fucking manhandle you and take you to jail, that's violence. Because of windows broken a couple days before? Yeah, bad protester, good protester. I mean, you sound like you're like saying, hey man, we're going to be righteous and we're going to stand for nonviolent demonstrations for, you know, solidarity and blah, blah, blah. But the second you start into this good protester, bad protester, you're buying into the state fucking line. You're buying into the state propaganda. You're perpetuating the state propaganda. I don't buy this good protester, bad protester thing. And check it out, man. If one of the people in the protest is doing shit that the rest of the community is uncomfortable with, that community can handle that shit. And I'll tell you what, more often than not always, but more often than not, that bad protester was a fucking cop.
Somebody hold my blunt. Hey, somebody hold my blunt. I'm not part of that shit. Looks like, yeah, so as you can see the auto goes through.
This guy just came with a hammer and smashed the windows.
I'm gonna fight you right now. You wanna go? Yes, what's up? Somebody hold my blunt. Hey, somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna Hey. Are you a cop? What's up? Looks like, yeah, so as you can see the auto goes through.
This guy just came with a hammer and smashed the windows.
I'm gonna fight you right now. You wanna go? Yes, what's up? Somebody hold my blunt. Hey, somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna Hey. Are you a cop? What's up?
What we call an agent provocateur. They can't have someone actually they can't get some, leftist or whatever to on their own actually break a window. They'll send in a cop to do it so that they can say, see, bad protester, violence. And what it ultimately sends, the other larger message that it sends, one, it demonizes demanding any type of action. And what it does is it tells you, walk in the street, say your little thing, then go home and shut the fuck up. And then the state continues to do whatever the fuck it wants. You feeling me, fam? Did I rant on it long enough?